Constitution of the martial law attempts to amend or change the 1987 Constitution.
I'm Angelica Saptang from BED1G. Ang topic natin ngayon is chronological narrative basihan sa Pilipino. The 1987's Constitution, a chronological narrative after more than 20 years in the power, President Ferdinand Marcos, prone to the domestic and international pressure, and the announced that snap election will be held in February 7, 1986. Not wishing standing, he had been elected president only 5 years earlier when he ran against former Secretary of Defense Alejo Santos. The snap election was evidently unadopted by the allying autocrat and established his reign the lending in same source of popular legitimacy. The February 7, 1986 election pit the powerhouse demonstration tandem of President Marcos and MP Kilusang Bagong Lipunan, KBL, against the United Democratic Opposition. Candidates Corazon C. Aquino, Window of Maastricht. Opposition Senator Benigno S. Aquino Jr. and former Senators Salvador H. Laurel. 8 days after election, characterized by voter intimidation and violence, the Batang Pangbansa, dominated by Marcos alias, proclaimed him related based on the official commission and election COMELEC result. In protest against the massive electoral fraud, majority leader and former House Speaker Jose B. Laurel and Jr. led opposition walkout from election proceeding.
Good day everyone, my name is Bilita D1 from BED1G. I am the second reporter. The fallout from the elections led to immense international and internal pressure on the Marcos regime. Political and military defections rocked the government, culminating in a failed coup attempt led by Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile and Armed Forces Vice Chief of Staff General Fidel V. Ramos. This was followed by a call to mass action by civil society and the Catholic hierarchy. On February 25, the Philippines had the unusual situation of having President Marcos had taken his oath in Maharlika Hall, administered by Chief Justice Ramon Aquino, with a throng of loyalists assembled in the palace grounds. Meanwhile, Mrs. Aquino took her oath in Club Filipino, administered by Associate Justice Claudio Tejanque. According to the 1973 Constitution, the oath of the President was, "I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties as a President of the Philippines, preserve and defend its Constitution, execute its law, to justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation."
Before I start my report, I would like to introduce myself first. I'm Jelly Maybe Sanchez from BED1G, and my topic is all about attempts to amend or change the 1987 Constitution. Did you know that there are attempts to amend or change the 1987 Constitution? So, the 1987 Constitution provided 3 methods to amend the Constitution. These are Constituent Assembly, Constitutional Convention, and People's Initiative, all requiring ratification on a majority vote in the national referendum. The first attempt happened in 1995. The Secretary of National Security Council, Jose Almonte, drafted a constitution, but it was exposed to the media and it never prospered. The second attempt happened in 1997. There's a group called PIRMA, hope to gather signature from voters to change the constitution through a people's initiative. but many people against, including Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, who brought the issue to the court and won, with the Supreme Court judging that the people's initiative cannot push through without enabling law. The third attempt was by the former President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. He formed a study commission to investigate the issues surrounding charter change, focusing on the economic and judiciary provisions of the Constitution. This effort was blocked by the different entities after President Estrada was replaced by his Vice President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo due to another people power. The House Speaker, Jose del Venecia, endorsed constitutional change to Constituent Assembly, which entails a two-thirds vote of the House to propose amendments or revision to the Constitution. This initiative was also not successful since the term of the President Arroyo was marked in controversy and scandal, including the possibility of Arroyo extending her term as the president, which the Constitution did not allow. The administration of the former President Benigno Aquino III had no marked interest in charter change except in those emanating from different members of Congress, including the Speaker of the House, Feliciano Belmonte Jr., who attempted to introduce amendments to the Constitution that concerned economic provision that aimed toward liberalization. Also, it did not succeed. On December 7, 2016, President Duterte signed an executive order creating a consultative committee to review the 1987 Constitution.
I'm Charlene Rapis from BED1G, and I will discuss about the Constitution after martial law. First was to do with all Marcosian influence and return to the 1935 Constitution, which was in use until September 23, 1972 Declaration of Martial Law. Members of her government, such as Information Minister Teodoro Locsin Jr., argued that the 1979 Constitution was never ratified. This was, however, seen as impossible because institutions such as the bicameral legislature had been abolished by Marcos and general elections would have been called. The second option was to retain the 1973 Constitution promulgated under Marcos, which is stipulated, among others, an unicameral legislative that was elected in 1984 for a yet unexpired 5-year term. Put forward by retired Supreme Court Associate Justice and MP Cecilia Muñoz Palma and MPs Marcelo Fernan and Homobono Aldosa, they considered it possible for the President to reform government with the current Constitution, although the Batasan Pambansa, which was now allied to President Aquino, needed to do was nullify their initial proclamation of Marcos and enact a law granting President Aquino extraordinary powers to reform government. President Aquino, however, was wary of this option, derived legitimacy and power from the vote. Lastly, and most radical, was a clean break, a fresh start from the vestige of disgraced dictatorship as suggested by Father Joaquin Bernas, S.J. and others. Subsequently, President Aquino issued Proclamation No. 2 on March 2, 1986, further reinstalling them. That's all for our discussions about Constitution after martial law and attempts to amend or change the 1987 Constitution. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a nice day!